Hey everybody, it is Friday, August 7th. Hope everyone's doing well out there. I'm doing pretty good. It's been a burner for a week, on the professional front, but no complaints there. We've had beautiful weather here where we live in the mid 70s, low 80s, with a nice ocean breeze. Say what you will about California being, a pretty fucked up place, and for a lot of reasons it definitely is, right? But but you're not going to get 75 degrees with a cool breeze and essentially no rain. I can't even remember the last fucking day that I saw rain, right? So for those of you out there who are saying, "I'm going to move to Arizona, and I'm moving, blah, 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 fuck California." Well, you know what? Peace. We one less car on the freeway, right on the fucking 405. So, but anyways, yeah, been good here. A little depressed. The open mic circuit, right, is still, not, opened up, because of the pandemic restrictions, and that's a good thing, right? I'm not complaining about that. Um, but it sucks, like I'm a noob and I need all the practice I can get, right? So I may go try an open mic on Sunday, which is an outdoor open mic, and they've got a bunch of things in place to keep everybody protected, and social distance. So I don't know. I might go take a peek at that, and if it looks legit, um, fuck it, I might get up there and give it a shot. A little outdoor open mic action. But if I do that, I'll see if I can get Vicky to come along and record some of that, and of course I'll put some of that up on the channel. But anyways, yeah, hope everybody's week's been pretty well. Some funny shit gone down this week, man. Like I read earlier this week that a Starbucks employee like ate a punch because he wouldn't put on a mask. Apparently, a guest, came into the store and told old boy to put on a mask, and he refused. So he got his fade caught. And for those of my straight laced people out there, that means he got punched in the face. Um, but anyways, yeah, I mean, if there's one thing, right, like that everyone in this planet should know, right? Like one thing is don't fuck with a person's coffee, right? Like that's 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 elementary right there, right? And come on, man. I mean, you should know better. If you're out, working in a food service, gig. I mean, having a mask on is just basic, right? Like, I mean, you should be fired just for being stupid. On top of that, and I'll say, man, the dude's lucky he just got punched, right? Because I know, like my girlfriend, if you fucked with her coffee in the morning, like you'd get jumped. Like it would be a fucking boot party. So. Yeah, come on, guys. Just use a little common sense out there, and don't fuck with people's coffee, man. Come on, like you gotta know better than that, right? Another funny thing that I read earlier this week was a man lost his penis due to a blood infection, and as bad as that is, right? Like that's awful, right? Like, I mean, on so many levels, right? And I mean, we wouldn't even need to go, deep in on this, no pun intended. But he lost it to an infection of the gooch, of all places, right? I mean, the gooch has got to be like the most like, um, you know, for granted. It's probably the spot on the body taken for granted the most. It's just kind of there, right? Like, but the man got an infection of the gooch, and apparently, dude had a few bucks because he paid 50K for a procedure to a British doctor who basically will build you like a bionic dick, right? And I'm like, well, damn, I don't know if I want to have to lose mine. I'm like, can I just get a bionic dick built to replace the one I got? Like, um, but anyways, I guess with this bionic penis, he can no longer he can't run or go swimming, but as crazy as this sounds, and it just blows me away that the technology is there for this, is that he can actually pump it into an erection. Now, I don't know if it's going to go any further than that. I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but the fact that he could pump that thing into an erection, I mean that's at least good enough as like a party trick, right? So, um, And the guy was saying that, it really isn't about, sex. He's been married for a long time. So obviously, he's stopped having sex a long time ago. So it definitely isn't about the sex. And, but of all places, the dude had the penis, the bionic penis built. He put it on his fucking arm. So, I mean, I get it. Yeah, I guess, if it's a party trick and you want to whip that thing out and show people, after you've had a few cocktails, maybe that's a convenient spot. Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't have to unzip or pull your pants down or anything like that, but I don't know. Does it seem a little like a kind of an inconvenient spot? Does he have to like lean over the toilet and he pisses out of his arm? I mean, I just don't even get like the mechanics of how that all would really work out. But you know what? The guy was like determined. I guess he had to wait out, a bunch of time to get the procedures done, with the whole pandemic thing. And he was full send on this, man. Like he waited it out, went through all the procedures, and now he's walking around with bionic dick on his arm. And you know what? Good for him, man. If that makes him feel better or confident or whatever, hey, who am I to judge? But take care of those gooches, guys. That's a deep dark place down there, and just take care of the gooch. In other news, Mike Tyson, I guess, is going to fight Roy Jones Jr. And they're going to give this dude $20 million to fight Roy Jones Jr. in like a kind of like a throwback fight. And at first I was thinking, this is fucking stupid. I mean, for those of us who saw the Chuck Liddell Tito Ortiz fight, and that basically looked like two fucking wet blankets, being thrown over, two senior citizens as they were playing bingo. I initially was thinking I'm not paying pay-per-view, or am I going to waste my time to find the channel on my bootleg cable for the free pay-per-view? But yeah, $20 million. And then I got to thinking, you know what, Mike, let's face it, like we all watched Mike for the fighting, right? Well, kind of for the fighting, right? But what we really watched Mike back in the day for was because he was on three kinds of crazy at like all times, right? Like Mike was constantly sipping on a cocktail mixed with violence, paranoia, and whatever else, right? So you never knew what you're gonna get from Mike. I mean, he was doing crazy shit like beating up, garbage men and trying to fight gorillas at the zoo. And I mean, Mike was just always on edge, and it looks like he's still about that life, right? Because even in later life, right, he's got these crazy ass tattoos on his head, and he was locked up, and when he was locked up, he was, I guess, having like a whole bunch of sex with his prison counselor. And I'm like, only Mike, right? Like, I guarantee you, like, Bill Cosby ain't locked up right now. Like, well, maybe we shouldn't go there, but he's probably not having sex with anybody, right? But yeah, man. So I'm actually kind of curious. I am interested to see that. Mike, for 20 million, I mean, could I blame him? No, I definitely can't blame him, because, I mean, if you're Mike, 20 million in blow and strippers, like that extends life for him, at least for what, 20 million. Let's say he takes, 75% of that after taxes, so let's say he's making, 65 million, right? That extends his life at least another couple of years, right? After he'll be back on the strip and back to the old Mike Tyson antics, or maybe he's going to invest it in his new business venture, which I hear he's trying to open a 400-acre weed farm right out in Vegas, which maybe that's what he needs. Maybe that's what will kind of like settle him down a little bit. He can partake in the good and make some money on it, and maybe he won't be so stressed out about trying to fund his cocaine and stripper habits. But anyways, yeah, Mike gonna be back at it, after not too long here. And also, I read something really kind of crazy today, right? And And the headline of this was Canada's asking U.S. citizens to not illegally cross the border into their country. Okay, Canada, they were asking, hey, could you, by the way, please don't sneak to our country or across the border. You've got this whole pandemic thing going on. It's a complete fucking shit show. So we would just rather if you would just stay down there, please. Okay, Canada, gotcha. No problem. We'll take heed to that. God, Canada, man. What else is going on? I think I talked about Lou Williams last time, and and I touched on it on the last blog. So Lou Williams comes out with like, the statement of all statements to say, oh yeah, maybe that wasn't the best quality decision for me to have gone to the strip club while I was outside of the bubble. Lou, who are your people, bro? Like, that's the best statement you got? Like, I would have made some kind of excuse and been like, I thought I only had 30 days to live, or I thought I had the Rona, or, you know what I mean? Like, have somebody come up with some better lies for you than that, my guy. Like, come on. Yeah, that's just bad, man. But what are you gonna do, man? People are gonna do what they want to do, and man, you're telling me that's all I got? I knew I didn't have much for this session, but damn, I guess that's all I got. I'm looking through my notes here, and no other crazy shit other than when this shit's all done, I'm gonna take a trip to Miami. I've been thinking lately, I've never been to Miami, and the comedy scene is pretty dope there from what I hear. The nightlife, right? Just to be down there, and don't get me wrong, like Florida's a fucking shit show right now, right? Like you'd have to put me in like a fucking pandemic fucking bubble suit, before I went down there right now. And but I don't know. Just during the pandemic, I've been thinking about a bunch of things that I'm gonna do once the restrictions are lifted and once it's safer out there, and because I could just totally picture myself like in Miami, like just rolling down the strip, in a white Lamborghini, in a white total cream white Gucci suit, and I mean the suit will be mine, but the car's definitely rented. Maybe have like a pound of Coke in the glove box, and I'm just gonna go out there and just do it Miami style. And go to some salsa clubs, maybe hit some comedy shows, or maybe I try to get into a couple comedy shows, but I guess before I do that I need to get into my first comedy show. So yeah, I'm still working on this thing and the comedy thing, and it's not been easy. Given the situation, I've been out and tried to, kind of spark up some friendships with some other comics. And for the most part, people are really friendly and are willing to kind of help you or whatever. But I'd also love to get into like some improv. I ran into this cat across my timeline on one of the Facebook groups I look at called LA Comedy Scene. And his name is, I forget, what is his name? But anyways, really funny cat. See if I can look up his name real quick for you, because you should go check out some of his skits, man. He does some pretty funny skits. He's got this one skit where he's going into McDonald's and he's trying to order, a fine dining, meal, and it's just fucking hilarious. So let me look real quick on the old book face here, and let me see if I can real quickly find this guy for you. I think his name is Matt Jones, but yeah, his name's Matt Jones. Hit him up on Facebook, or you can check him out on
A few moments later.
Okay, I'm back. A little bit of technical difficulty there, but anyways, this cat I'm talking about, his name's Matt Jones. So check him out on. You can search for him on YouTube, and he's got a lot of funny ass skits. Like I was saying, he just uploaded a new skit where he was applying for a job with the Hells Angels. And so he was going through the interview process, for a position at the Hells Angels, and it's fucking hilarious. The guy's got like a couple years of actor training, which is obvious to see, right? But go check him out. His name's Matt Jones, and I, you'll laugh at his shit, I promise. And but anyways, just trying to like buddy up with people and that I can learn from and maybe even get involved with stuff like that. And really I have like little expectation, if someone's saying, oh yeah, come fucking join our skit and do what we're doing, right? I mean, but if I could go sit in a room and be a fly on a wall and just kind of take in and observe, how people are doing skits and improv and as well as the the stand up, it's all really helpful, right? But yeah, that's more or less it. Pretty low key weekend. Gonna go hit the beach tomorrow, and haven't been to the beach since we've done the whole pandemic thing. So gonna go out there and hopefully not run into any fucking butthole people. Speaking of butthole people, right? Another thing I was reading, and honestly, I kind of got into old grumpy man mood on this, and Vicky and I spent like a good hour debating it, right? And it was about the LAPD, by order of the mayor, are going to start shutting down large parties and gatherings. And how they're going to do that is they're going to have the utility companies come in and just shut off your power and your water. And I'm like, okay, like this is kind of scary, right? Like, I won't get into the whole, COVID-19, debate about, what should or shouldn't be, et cetera, et cetera. But at the point when the mayor is trying to say that the fucking police are going to show up to your house because you've got, a party going on there, I don't sit right with me. Like, I think that's a little bit of some right infringement going on there. I don't need the mayor or the police department to tell me, that I shouldn't be at a party or to tell me that I shouldn't be hosting a party. Now, granted, like, are chances increase? Should you be going to mass gatherings like that? Definitely not, right? Like, I'm not going to a party where there's going to be 100 people in close proximity or in the pool or whatever, right? Like, but that's my choice, right? I don't need someone to make that choice for me, and that's where I kind of start to have a problem with this. And you can look at it through a lot of different lenses, and Vicky brought up a really good point, and she was like, well, the government tells, a woman what she can and can't do with her body, which I'm like, okay, a little bit kind of on a different parallel or tangent than this, but, I can see kind of where there's some correlation, but, and that too, I won't get into details on that with you too, but I will say that I don't stand for the government, being able to tell a woman what to do with her body. That's not getting political. That's just the way I feel. Just as much as I don't feel like the government should be telling people that they can't have a party. So, if you want a fucking party, like, throw a fucking party, right? If you're dumb enough to go to a party where there's 100 people and expose yourself to risk for COVID, then you're a dumb fuck. You know what? But you know what? That's your business, right? And some people should say, well, no, we need to protect the people who won't make the right decisions and this and that. I'm like, no. That's not how this rodeo works in America. This is not socialism. This is not a communist country.
A few moments later.